Welcome to the Chuck Shoot Podcast. My guest today is musician Natalie Merrill. She's a singer, songwriter, guitar player. She performs solo as Natalie Merrill, but she also performs as a duo as Natalie and Brenna. And she also performs with her full band, Natalie and the Sweet Talkers. And if you're not plugged into the Phoenix music scene, you may have never heard of her. But I'm very confident that many people will know her name very soon. She is extremely talented, and I was honestly blown away by her performance. She does a couple of songs at the end, and you'll see what I'm talking about, her talent. It was a lot of fun talking with her. We talked about her history with music, and it does sound like she had a little bit of an on-again, off-again relationship with singing and guitar playing, and she just recently picked the guitar back up. And I'm really glad that she did, because she's actually a really good guitar player and also a really good songwriter. And I think the guitar is I'm assuming that's how she's writing the songs. But besides her musical talent, she's one of the kindest guests I think I've ever had on my show. She thanked me repeatedly when I'm the one who should be thanking her for coming over and doing me a favor and performing basically a free concert, 2 songs, and answering all my questions about my curiosity. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this too. All right, welcome Natalie Merrill to the Chuck Shoot Podcast. How you doing?
So excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, cool. So Natalie Merrill, Natalie and the Sweet Talkers, Natalie and is it Brenna? Natalie and Brenna?
Yeah, Brenna Tiffy.
Yeah, so you're of all 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main focus right now is definitely the band. We've been gigging. We've been together for about 1.5 years now. But in the beginning, it was me and Brenna Tiffy, plays guitar amazingly. She's a badass rocker chick. Known her since I was 5.
Wow.
And that kind of grew into me finding a band, and it's just been a whirlwind.
Yeah. So you started, you decided you want to be a musician at age 10 when you heard Taylor Swift. Was that
yeah.
when she was like a country singer more than because now she's like pop. Right?
Oh yeah. She was very different when I was 10. So I heard her record at the time, and I told my parents, I want to be Taylor Swift. Please buy me a guitar.
Okay.
And get me some lessons. And they did. I have the best parents in the world. And they bought me my first guitar when I was 10.
Is it hard? I asked this to Zach, the other musician I just interviewed, but is it hard to play a guitar when you're 10? Because I played when I was like 15, but I was pretty fully grown at that point.
Yeah.
Like when you're 10, you're a lot smaller. Your hands are smaller. Do you have to get a kid guitar? Or?
I actually still have the same guitar, and it's kind of smaller than a normal acoustic guitar, but I was taught by Thomas Laufenberg, who is also in the local music scene of Arizona. He's awesome.
That name sounds familiar. Is he in a band?
Yes, he's in the Pistoleros.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was kind of a bigger band in the 90s, right?
Yeah, and he's awesome. I mean, he's incredibly talented. So I learned from him and then kind of quit it for a while. I didn't really play until I was maybe 15, and then did it throughout high school. My mom.
Yeah. So you picked it back up in high school, and then this is interesting. You went to bars, and your mom drove you around in the minivan.
Yep.
And then she came into the bar and sat next to you?
Yes. So she would sit very close because I was 15 and she wanted to be
right.
She's
No,
very
I totally
protective.
understand that. Yeah. You almost need like a bouncer at that
100%.
Yeah.
So
you're around all these adults who are drinking. Mm-hmm. I mean, that had to be intimidating as a 15-year-old girl, right? I would think.
It was. I was just doing what I loved, though.
Okay.
So I just kind of blocked the rest of it out, and I would have my guitar and my little music sheet with the chords on it, and really play Taylor Swift covers like the whole night. But yeah, my mom and dad were there, and a lot of the times, especially when I was, only when I was old enough to drive, I'd be the ones driving them home because they had a lot of fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. So, and then you had a music teacher in high school too. You got to tell me about this class, because I read something about you got to go to rock concerts. Like, can you explain what that class was? Because I don't remember going to rock concerts for music class in high school. Oh man,
I know how lucky I was looking back now. But it's called Contemporary Music and Sound. CMAS was the acronym. Richard Maxwell was our teacher, Mr. Maxwell, and it basically was this big room with music posters everywhere, and then a bunch of studios. So we got to record and learn Pro Tools and learn how to put on a show. We did like halftime shows at the football games at Arcadia. It was
like a rock
amazing.
band? Like you play like instruments, guitars, and drums? It's not like saxophones and violins?
No, it was like he showed us, you know, the Eagles documentary and would fast forward through certain parts. But like it was so badass. And I'm so grateful for that because I learned so much. And we went to Green Day for a field trip. We went to Flogging Molly.
And you got to go backstage at Green Day or see the dressing room before the show?
Yeah, we got to go kind of behind the scenes. It was a lot of tech focus at that in that class. So kind of understanding how, you know, the technicalities of putting on a big show like that. I wish I had absorbed it more. But also learning the
instruments too, or did you? Was that something you were kind of supposed to do on your own?
It was a little bit of both. There were different levels. So it was like CMAS 1, CMAS 2, CMAS 3, CMAS 4. Yeah. And you were either a performer or an engineer.
Interesting. So, yeah. I wonder if they even still have that class.
They do. He was actually nominated for like a Grammy as one of the teachers of music.
Wow.
He was in like the top 10. I mean, I'm just so grateful.
Yeah.
He super big impact.
That would have been a class that I would have been interested in when I was in high, because I was into music, but I took guitar lessons, but I didn't, you know, in high school, I think we just had band and orchestra and I was not interested in either one of those. So then you graduated high school and then you went to ASU and you got a degree in psychology and you started working the insurance job. So did you take a break during college of music or were you still performing in college?
I definitely took a break. I mean, I would take out the guitar when it was late at night and we were, you know, in one of the dorms drinking water. And I would, you know, take out the guitar and I would always remember how much I loved it. But I took a break during college and just said, I'm going to get a degree. I'm going to get a boring job. And I did that and then was stifled and realized I didn't want to do that path at all. So I'm grateful for it, really, looking back.
So do you still have a day job now, though? Or
I do. I have a part-time job
okay.
On the management side of a babysitting company. So I just talk to parents all day. It's really lovely. It's one of my really good friends' company.
Nice.
Busy Bees. It's awesome. But it really works well because I can work from anywhere and it supplements the music stuff.
Okay. So. And then you're trying to take the music full-time or?
Absolutely. Because it's what sets my soul on fire. It's what makes me like come alive and it's who I am. So,
and you're really good at it, obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then was Natalie and Brenna, was that the first band that you started?
Yes, and it was Natalie and Brenna, and then the next time it was Brenna and Natalie because it was an equal world.
Okay.
No, it was just she's great. We've known each other again since we were 5.
Yeah.
Since kindergarten. Our parents are really good friends. We've been going to Mexico together forever. She's just incredible at guitar. She learned from Thomas as well. So we would book gigs around Scottsdale and just at different bars, and we still play together a lot, just kind of casually, and it's awesome.
Okay. And then you also played with your sister, right?
Yes, she's an incredible singer. She won't admit it, but she's amazing. She's a powerhouse. So anytime I can get her up on stage, she's up there with me for sure. But
she doesn't do a band like her own thing. It's just when you pull her up.
Just when I peer pressure her and give her enough alcohol.
Booze, right? That'll do it. Yeah. So then you formed Natalie and the Sweet Talkers. I mean, this is a relatively new band, only 2018.
Yeah.
How did the band come together? Did you like audition the band or were you already familiar with these musicians? Or?
So it's so crazy because the music community in Arizona is just amazing. So how it really happened was 2 years ago, I was performing with Roger Clyne at Circus Mexicus at the festival he puts on in Rocky Point. He asked me to sing a song with him. It was, at the time I was just performing with Brenna, and somehow that word came out and he reached out to me asking if I want to perform with him. We sang Rhiannon on stage, big main stage. It was amazing. One of the best moments of my life. Absolutely. And in the audience was my now bass player, Troy Dixon. I didn't know him at the time, but he saw me, went back to a few musicians that he had been playing with and said, we got to find this girl and we got to work with her. We should do some gigs and see what happens. So it also ended up to be that the drummer knew my parents. Just super small world. Just crazy small world. 2 weeks later, I was at their rehearsal space and it was magic. I mean, it just came together like we'd been playing together for years.
So they kind of already had the band. Mm-hmm. Was it called just the Sweet Talkers then? Or
no, they had been playing with different singers in the local Arizona area. So even like Troy Dixon sometimes plays with Elvis Before Noon. And they also play with a singer, Jenny Jarnigan, she's just amazing. So they'd known each other forever, have been doing gigs forever, but they wanted to do more. They wanted to be more active in playing out and writing and producing material. So they reached out to me, and it was super, super natural and awesome.
That's cool. Do you write with them or?
So the first year was just a whirlwind. We just kind of hit the ground running with gigs, just booking gigs left and right, and got to play so many different places and with so many amazing bands. Now we're looking at it in a way of we kind of step back and we want to produce and write. So,
because you do a lot of covers, obviously.
Yes,
yeah. You mix it up, but it's like I would say mostly covers. Right?
Mostly covers for sure. And we love doing that because we just love playing music. So we're happy to be there. But now it's definitely a writing focus, and because I'm the singer, I guess, write the lyrics. They write music. It's really an awesome collaboration. But
you're starting to write music now too, because you picked the guitar back up.
I did. Got over that fear.
Was it a fear?
It just was uncomfortable, but that's all, where all the good stuff comes. So I had to just.
What was uncomfortable? I mean, because it sounded pretty good you just warmed up a little bit, and I heard a little bit, and you played at Boondocks. I heard that, and it sounded good.
That was the first time playing guitar live in a few years, actually.
Wow.
So, and I'd play it, at my house and casually and all that, but I love also just focusing on the singing aspect. I kind of like dancing around and just getting really into it, which you can't do with a guitar the whole time. But I love, I mean, like you said, I was at Boondocks with it, and it feels right. I don't want to do it for every song, but it's super exciting to have that aspect.
That option, yeah. So you'll bring it up for some songs, and others you'll do the dance. Yeah, because you got some good moves. Plan. So, but going back to Roger Clyne, let's talk about that relationship, because he's big in the Arizona music scene. I don't know if people who don't know, he was in a band called the Refreshments, and their biggest thing is they did the King of the Hill soundtrack, but they have other really good songs, and he's very well known here. But you did the January Jam and the Circus Mexicus, or he has the Jam. I don't know. Have you ever done January Jam?
I have not.
Those two music festivals.
Yeah.
But so you performed live with him. You said the first time was Rihanna, or was it, you also played Green and Dumb, right?
Yes. So the first time was Rhiannon on main stage at Circus with also Josh Kennedy from the Black Moods. He did guitar. And it was just amazing. And then,
so it's like surreal, right?
Really surreal, because I'd been going to that festival since I was 18, since my parents let me go.
How did you become a fan? Because a lot of his fans are old like me. Like, you're pretty young. So how did you get into? Did your parents get into that music?
Well, the music is, I think, pretty timeless, and
no, it definitely is. Yeah. But there's not a lot of. I mean, maybe there is more younger people. I mean, when I look at Circus Mexicus, it's a lot of.
It definitely is kind of older than me, but ever since I was little, my parents were taking me to Roger Clyne concerts. Like, I remember at the Marquee having to have earplugs, and I was like that little. And we would have little signs that say, like, I love RCPM, and like I was 5, 6. So talking about it being surreal. I mean, truly, if I had told that little girl, like, hey, that band that you go to with your parents that you just look up to and admire, you're going to sing with them one day, I'd be like, you're lying. You're joking.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
That's really, and then so your parents must have been surreal for them too, to see their daughter on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Because they are obviously big fans.
They are the best people I know. They are so supportive. Anytime that I look out and I see them, like, it's just the best thing in the world, especially when I'm singing with Roger, because that's their whole, I mean, they've just loved that band for so long when they were the Refreshments.
Refreshments, yeah.
So it's really, I mean, the gratitude that I have and also that my parents have for it. They just love it.
That's really cool. Yeah, you look so happy in that video. The crowd's cheering and like you're smiling. I think you're actually like giggling, right? Like,
oh yeah. That's sometimes hard to contain when I'm on stage. I'm like, I gotta sing. I can't be laughing.
You're like laughing. You're so happy.
I know.
That's cool.
Well, I'm just on fire. It's like I'm so present and I'm so myself, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Take it in, because all of a sudden it's over. So
so you're still friends with him and stuff, right? Or?
Oh, with Roger?
Yeah.
I've gotten to play with him multiple times. He's so supportive of all local bands. It really is awesome.
What's cool about his 2 festivals is they shine the light on all these other bands.
Yeah, the platform is incredible because the following he has is just amazing. So the platform he has, and then I've also been able to sing with him at his charity event at Rock Bar that he hosts every year, Operation Santa Claus. So we do a song together, and it's just the best time ever. Truly, he's a force of nature.
So he reaches out to you when he needs
Correct.
you, right? Like you couldn't say like, hey, I'm at Boondocks. Do you want to come? I mean, you could invite him, but he's probably really busy, huh?
He's a very busy person. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I just hope that, I'm just honored when he asks. So
right, that's very cool. Yeah. So you're friends with the Black Moods. You're friends with another previous guest, Eddie Eberle. How do you know him? Because
oh my gosh,
it's funny because I reached out to you and then I saw Eddie. I think he was at the VIG, and I said, hey, do you know any other guests that might want to come on my show? I'm trying to get some more guests. He goes, well, yeah, I talked to Natalie, and I was like, wait, you know Natalie? He's like, yeah, I told her she should do your show. I was like, how did I say it really is? Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody. I actually first met Eddie. The Moods had showed me a song called Daddy's Little Daughter at their studio, and they were playing it, and they're like, these guys are going to be the next big thing. And I was on board. I'm like, these guys are amazing. I love this song. I still love that song. It's so good. And then I saw them live, and I think he's in Nashville right now.
Yeah, he moved to Nashville. His drummer, Christian.
He's
Champion.
going places.
Yeah,
they both are.
Too.
They're wildly talented, incredible songwriters, and also just incredible people.
Yeah, super nice. He said he knows your whole family.
Yeah.
He's like, I know the whole family.
Oh yeah. Everybody kind of knows everybody, but once we go to Mexico together, we're at these shows together, you go to a house after the show and we take out the guitars and we're playing. I mean, it's definitely a family. That's probably the best aspect of it.
Is there any other like up and coming Arizona bands we should know about? That people don't know about? I mean, I think everybody knows about the Black Moods. Everybody in Phoenix. Good music.
They are, I don't even call them local band anymore.
Yeah.
They're just touring and they're about to go on tour. They're awesome. Everybody
you mentioned like Elvis Before Noon.
Oh my gosh. Elvis Before Noon is awesome. I've worked with Jay Allen and the Uncommon Good. They're amazing. Yep. All the talent in Arizona is unbelievable. Like everybody should be bigger than they are. They should all be touring. Like truly the writing, just the talent in like one room is amazing. The talent at Circus Mexicus, you're just like, oh my gosh, every single band is on fire. So
yeah, I still haven't been to Circus. I've only been to January Jam twice. So I'm thinking this spring, June is when it's.
Yeah, it's in June. It's
a lot bigger than the January Jam.
Definitely a lot bigger. It's like thousands of people. It's crazy. It's a party for 5 days, but it's a blast. It's just constant.
5 days?
It's 5 days for me because I get there early and I stay late. It's a weekend, but there's stuff Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
yeah, with the people we went with the January Jam, they went to like everything.
Oh yeah,
it was really cool. So what's another festival? This was interesting. I don't know if you played or you just went as a fan, but I saw that you went to the Apache Lake Festival. I'm really curious about that one. Just there was a lot of cool bands, but also that's like the one part of the state I've never been to. Like explain where that is, because it's literally like in the middle of Arizona, middle of nothing, right? Is there anything there besides a lake?
There isn't, like, at all. It takes a couple hours to get there. There's a really long dirt road that's kind of scary once you're close. I think they've actually had to postpone that festival a couple times because of rain and just there's one road to get there and one road to get out. But it's beautiful. I'd never been there either, and it's a stunning piece of land, and
really,
it's
is
awesome.
it like forest or is it desert or is it both? Or?
It's desert.
Okay.
There's lots of trees and there's a gorgeous lake. Wow. And then there's just this big music festival.
And there's no like houses or businesses or restaurants or anything.
No,
right?
there's a couple restaurants before you get to the big dirt road.
Okay.
It's really kind of like you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. But so that's what makes it pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I thought that was so crazy when I saw there was a music festival there, because that thing just started, right?
I don't know how long it's been going on.
Yeah, I think I just saw about it a couple years ago. But
it's a cool. It's different in the fact that like I've just really never been to anything like that.
Right.
And
well, I'm assuming I've never been to Burning Man, but I'm assuming they're trying to make it like an Arizona kind of Burning Man.
I'm sure because it really is kind of untamed in that sense, because you're out in the middle of nowhere. If the lights are out, you're gonna see a million stars. It's that out from the city.
Do you get cell service even? Or?
Oh gosh, I don't even think I was on my cell phone because I was just enjoying the whole thing. But probably not. I get really bad cell service.
No, it'd either be really well. And if there wasn't a music festival, it would either be really peaceful or a good place for like a horror movie.
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Yeah. Gotta have both vibes.
So you mentioned the other day that some of the best songs are inspired by relationships. Did you ever have like a really bad breakup that inspired a song?
Who hasn't? It really is not even just romantic relationships. I think your relationship with everybody you meet and just love in general and heartbreak and loss, all of it. I mean, life is material for songwriting. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even have to be your own story. It can be a story you see, a story you're close to. That's kind of where inspiration for me comes. And I want to be a storyteller, but I also want it to be general enough to where when other people hear it, they can relate to it in their own way.
Right. So yeah, I've heard it's actually easier to write a song from a place of like emotional pain as opposed to a place of emotional joy. Do you agree with that? Or do you ever try to like sit down and force yourself to write a song when you're really happy so you can make like a fun song?
Right.
'Cause I like happy songs.
I think I love happy songs too. I think the really good songs come from really bad things. I mean, when I look at it, but also I don't think the people that write those really intense songs were necessarily in that place at that time. I think a lot of people write from scars and not from like open wounds. You know?
Interesting. So like they're reflecting back.
In a bigger picture sense, and in a way that is you won't feel like your entire soul is on display when you play it for somebody, because you've kind of been there, done that, you've learned from it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to share it and show it with the world and hope somebody resonates. But I'm also not going to like feel like I'm, bleeding for everybody.
Right. Because, is it No Doubt and Gwen Stefani? Like she wrote that song, Don't Speak. I love that song.
Yeah.
But I think she said it was like, it's hard to perform that song because I think it was about her and her brother or something. It's like a really emotional, like painful song to like sing.
Yeah.
But she has to sing it now for the rest of her life because it's like one of her biggest hits.
Yeah. I think to really perform as well as you can, you have to drop into that emotional state of whatever the song is about. So it's hard to do, but also what's so awesome is when you look out and you see people either singing along or just really feeling it, and you know that they're feeling it and seeing you and hearing you, you don't feel alone in it. It's unifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So like when we were at Boondocks, you just played a show there recently. There's some people that obviously came specifically for you to see the concert, but then it was like interesting because it's kind of an interesting setup there. They have the big outdoor and there's concert, and then there's kind of the inside part. So there's like people that maybe came there that not to see your band or not to see a live band. And so there's a lot of people with backs, the back to their back to your, to the band. And, I'm sure like you played shows at bars. So are you just used to that? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, cause to me I feel like that'd be like so rude. And I'd be like, excuse me, I'm trying to do a concert here. Like,
I really try to not worry about things I can't control.
Yeah.
And all I ever have the intention of with the show is to bring the best energy and the most loving and just be a light and unify people, make people feel just alive. That's like the goal every show. And so it doesn't really matter if there's 10 people in the audience, if there's 1,000, if people are listening or not. Like if I connect with one person, I feel like I've done the job. And
do you try to get those people that maybe aren't there to see the show to become a fan? Like you maybe try to dance with them or bring them into the show, or you kind of just say, I'm not going to focus on them because they're just not interested in the music.
I focus on the moment and the song and what I'm singing. And then whatever happens kind of goes from there, because I will see that group of people that obviously have no idea who I am. Yeah. And then they're kind of like starting to shake their head, and then they're kind of starting to shake their hips, and then they're getting into it, and it's amazing, and I love that. Yeah. But also, I'm not going to force anybody to.
I think you did kind of call your dad out on one song though, didn't you?
Oh, I'm sure. I always call my parents out. You're
like, I'm playing this song for you, Dad. Wake up, or something. Was he not paying attention? Or
no, I just love him so much. I've played Rocket Man by Elton John. That's his favorite song. So I just wanted him to know that was for him.
Yeah, that's cool. So on that, kind of piggyback on that topic of people at concerts, like what do you think of phones at concerts? Because I know, and on the one hand, I think like it's a good tool for people to promote the band. Like if I take a video of Natalie and Sweet Talkers and I post it on social media, then all my social media has seen, your band. But on the other hand, I think it might be Is it sometimes distracting for the artists? And also like the phone quality of video is not always the greatest. So sometimes that might hurt you, or if somebody sees it and goes, oh, this sounds terrible. But that's just because of the video, not because of your voice.
Yeah. When I see people take their phones out and record, I'm just so like ecstatic that they want to save the moment. I'm just
it's like, flattering.
Thank you. And I know that they'll show their friends, or they'll post it, which is awesome. Me, myself, when I'm going to concerts, I turn my phone off. Like I need to be as present as possible to actually enjoy it. If I'm on my phone the whole time, I'll just walk away being like, oh my gosh, I didn't even enjoy it. But, people love that live video stuff too now. And I think it's fun, especially for people that can't be there, that really love a band. Yeah. Even if it's really bad phone recording, they like to be like they're there and feel like they're a part of it. But yeah, and I think definitely not distracting.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, I wondered about that. But yeah, there's definitely, and there's some people that just, might take a couple clips here and there. And like, I think I took a couple clips because like, I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to show people like, songs you're doing and stuff. But yeah, there's some people that will literally hold their phone the entire concert. And I'm like, that seems like not even fun to,
That, especially if you're standing behind that person at like a very crowded concert and you're like, oh my gosh, it's right there. You don't need to record the whole thing.
Yeah, I try to take a few clips here and there. And people say, oh, you'll never watch those. And I'm like, I actually do. I go back sometimes and I'm like, oh, that was so cool when I saw that band. But
I have to, for sure.
Yeah. Do you like playing, because you do covers and originals. Do you like playing the covers more or the originals?
Originals.
Really?
Times a million. Oh,
really? Times a million.
Because it's me.
Yeah.
I like putting spin on on covers. Yeah. And making it my own. But at the end of the day, I didn't write it, And so to be a part of like the conception of a song and just every step of the way and then presenting it to people and them liking it, it's like the best feeling ever. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think that kind of shows too, because I felt like your covers were good, but I felt like with the originals, like you did seem there was like a little bit more. It just felt like more like energy. I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, thank you.
No, that was really cool.
Definitely,
I like the new songs that I heard.
Thank you. My heart's in it. So
yeah, that's really cool. So let's talk about style and looks for musicians in 2020, because you're probably too young to remember this, but like. Before MTV, obviously there was the radio, and then MTV came along, and then it was like you had to have a certain look to be on MTV. But then I feel like MTV's kind of gone away, although there's YouTube and all that stuff. But it seems like it's kind of like the pendulum is swung the other way, where looks don't really seem to matter as much. Like I look at I'll hear these songs on the radio, and then like my girlfriend will show me like the video. She's like, oh yeah, have you ever seen this person? I'm like, oh wow, like I had no idea what they look like. Do you think that looks and style is that still as big a thing as it used to be, or is it important in 2020?
It's important in this. I try to not make it more important than it should be. Like if I'm worrying more about my clothes than the song, then there's a problem. But I also, I want to look my best up there so I can perform my best and just feel my best. But I think a cohesive look, like everybody kind of being on the same page to where not everybody is having a whole different style and like decade of how they dress.
That's a good point. I never thought about that because you got to kind of coordinate with the band
a little bit.
Right?
Oh yeah. There's been many times where we're like, okay guys, we're wearing all black and something like that. I think it's different for women for sure. I think we have to really worry about like our hair and our makeup and all that stuff. But I really, like I said, what I try to control and what I really try to focus on is the energy that I bring, because I know that even if I'm sweating all my makeup off and my hair is just gross and like stuck to my face, if I'm enjoying myself and the energy's good, then I'm going to look good to people.
Yeah, definitely. No. Yeah. So you kind of had, when at Boondocks, you kind of had like a Stevie Nicks look going. And noticed that you played, I think I counted 3 Stevie Nicks, 1 solo song and then 2 Fleetwood Mac. Like how
I would do a whole set if I could.
Yeah. How obsessed with Stevie Nicks are you? Is she your favorite right now?
Oh, I'm mildly obsessed. No, I love her so much. She, like, I always say, as a woman, my mom inspires me, and as a songwriter, singer, performer, Stevie Nicks, and also as a woman too. Like, just she is just a take no prisoners, like just herself completely. She's wildly sexy, but she's like covered head to toe somehow. So there's like no skin showing, but then she's like this sex symbol. It's incredible. But her songwriting is really what gets me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, she's so many hits, like from the solo and the Fleetwood Mac. There's so many. I even like the 80s Fleetwood Mac, which like kind of like a guilty pleasure, but that's like my era. So like I grew up with those songs and I'm like, these are good. I don't know.
I just love her. Her songwriting. I always think it's like if she breaks your heart and then puts it back together in 3 minutes. That's really hard to do as a songwriter.
Yeah. Is it hard to sing Stevie Nicks style?
Because I love it so much, no.
Okay.
And because I've been doing it for a while. But it definitely feels like, oh gosh, I've got shoes to fill. Yeah. Not like I ever, put myself up to that challenge, but I want to do the song justice.
Right. No, you did great. Yeah.
Thank you.
What about Lady Gaga? Like she was kind of a pop star, and I kind of thought, I was like, she was okay or whatever. But then when I saw that movie, A Star Is Born, I actually, again, another guilty pleasure. I'm a fan. I like, she was so good in that
popularity,
movie.
Yeah,
it was so good. So is she hard to emulate and like hit those notes? Because she's got range.
She's got pipes. She's amazing. I sing a couple of her songs, again, just as like a flattery thing, not as I want to be Lady Gaga and sing like Lady Gaga thing. I want to sing these songs that people know and love. She's incredible. And that movie really, I think it showed a side of her to people that we hadn't seen before. Like raw and real and just like,
She was authentic. A good actress too. Like she was so likable and like charming. I was like, oh, I did, because all I've seen is like the meat dress and all the weird stuff.
Far cry from the meat dress.
Kind of weird, and her songs are okay, I guess. But yeah, no, that was a great movie. Do you ever do the songs from that movie, or are they kind of overplayed?
I actually have done "Shallow" a couple times.
Have you? Yeah, that's gotta be a tough one.
When it came out, no, it definitely. Oh my gosh, it's like the hardest song to sing ever, but. The bar goes crazy because people just love that song. I sang that one with my sister. I called her up as a kind of a surprise. It was her 21st birthday. And I called her up halfway through. She had no idea. Kind of like in the movie, how he calls her up to sing that song. Right. And she's so like nervous and stuff. And she absolutely nailed it. I just walked away from the microphone. I'm like, all right, take the wheel. She was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, it's cool to hear those songs live because like Eddie did one of the songs from that soundtrack, not "Shallow," but the other, like one of the ones that
Bradley Cooper does.
Yeah, because it was cool to hear that too, because you can't go see that band, you know what I mean? Because it's like a made up, so you kind of have to see a cover band do it.
Eddie does that song so well. Yeah, he played that at Circus, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the song from Star Is Born.
It took me a minute to like figure out, wait, how do I know this song? I was like,
putting it in context was weird.
Yes, exactly. It's very cool. So going back to your music teacher, he said that he wasn't really surprised by your success. He said people would see you and they'd go nuts, but you'd never brag, like you're always humble. But now we're on a podcast, so we can actually talk about this kind of stuff. So like, what's going on in your head when people compliment your musical ability? Like, do you say to yourself like, damn right, I'm amazing? Or are you like a harsh critic of yourself? You're like, I wish I would have hit this note better, or...
when I am like in the zone, And I meditate a lot. That's a big thing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What kind of meditation?
All over. Like I do a bunch of different kinds, but really like the main one is just sitting and listening to something that I don't have an opinion on. So whether that's like the air conditioner in the room or like a ticking clock or something like that, to absolutely clear my mind. It like opens a channel. I feel like I always do it before writing. I do it before shows. I did it before this. I do it every day, but it really is to open that creative channel. And so what feels like is coming through is not really from me. So when I'm getting compliments or criticism, I try not to take it too personal.
Either one, good or bad.
I'll take the compliments way easier, of course, as anybody. But I also am just like, that song wrote itself. I'm so glad that you love it because I love it too. I love that you felt something from it. And I love to just make people feel what I'm feeling when I'm singing those songs. But, you know, and the criticism too, I don't run into too much of that. I think it's more prominent on social media. Yeah. Because people don't have like, you know, they don't want to come up and tell you to your face. Do people post stuff on your social media? No. You just see it on, in the world. You just see it in the world. Yeah. But, you know, I feel like if you're in the arena and you're like on stage, you can't take criticism from the people that are like in the cheap seats. Right. No, I heard some quote the other day that said like, the harshest criticism will always come from people in the cheap seats. That's the cheap seats. That's and it's like, quote. I'm fighting in the arena. I'm not going to listen to the person that's way up there that needs binoculars to see and is like throwing Cheetos at me. Right. Not going to listen to that person. Yeah. That's awesome. So that's cool. You meditate and you do yoga, right? I do. I used to do yoga a lot more. I do Orange Theory now. You do one of those? I love it. I love it. It's crazy. It makes me feel just really strong because it's a lot of like weightlifting and all that. Yeah. But I think having like the physical exercise is really essential. Like I cannot do a show unless I've worked out that day. Okay. Yeah, that was going to ask you about. So health and fitness. So you're doing the Orange. Those are intense. I did that for a while. Then I was like, I can't, it's all these women. I'm like, I can't keep up with these women. I'm out of shape. Like I can't do it, but it's a good workout. It makes me feel really badass, especially to look to your left and right and see all these women. Like you said, you're like, man, this is pretty cool. But it just clears my head. It's mental more than anything. Oh, that's great. And then do you do like a specific diet or anything? Or? No. I love pizza and and cheese and carbs and all the things. All the bad stuff. Yeah. Just do Orange Theory and then it just goes away. And just dance on stage for like 3 hours. Dance You'll be stage, fine. Yeah, that's a good work. Do you ever like time your workout with you're on stage? Like, oh gosh. How many calories you burned dancing around? No, I don't really keep track of that stuff. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I should though. Yeah, wear a Fitbit or something up there. Yeah, totally. So you had a dream of performing with Stevie Nicks. Do you think that's something you can accomplish in the next? When do you have a timeline for that? No, I don't have time. No, I don't. I won't put a timeline on it. One day that would be. I mean, I would just Thelma and Louise after that. I would just jump off a cliff and be like, I'm good. I'm done. I've came to do. We're good. This is my peak. Thank you all for your time. Wow. But I mean, hopefully that'd be incredible. So that's the ultimate. That would be incredible. Because everyone's got their like pinnacle. Like when I talk to comedians and they'll always say like they'll be on the Tonight Show or whatever. And I'm like, so was that like the ultimate? Yeah. And like everyone's got their thing that, you know, if you're in a movie, if you're in a sitcom or, you know, so for you, it'd be performing with Stevie Nicks. Yeah. That would be. Because you performed with Roger Clyne like so early in your career. So that was just crazy. Yeah. I kept pinching myself. I'm like, wait, I just started singing. Like what's happening? It was awesome. So I think it could happen. She still tours, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. She's still rocking. She's rock queen as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, definitely. I want to see her. I wanted to see her, and I guess she performed with Tom Petty when he was here last time before he died. I never saw him perform either. I didn't either. That would have been an amazing show. That would be like peak concert experience as well. You couldn't go to another concert after that. I think it was like Tom Petty. Does Stevie Nicks live here? No, she's not. Yeah, she is. She is. Okay, because I think Tom Petty. Her address is no. Oh, you know her address? No, I don't. I'm not that crazy. Is there a restraining order against you? There might be. Okay. No, she's just awesome. But I think she lives in Paradise Valley. Really? Yeah, because my buddy said that he went to a Tom Petty show and she just. Like randomly they brought her up. Yeah. So I don't think she was like actually like on the tour, but they just, that's cool. Well, if Stevie Nicks is in the audience, you got to bring her up. Yeah, definitely. If she's there. She doesn't belong in the audience. No. Yeah. And I think they have a song together or they did. So yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, back to your music, the Sweet Talkers. You guys have an album coming out, or are you going to release singles? Or
We're working on songs right now. So
Okay.
our goal is an album by the end of the year. We have multiple songs. We're just kind of getting out all that creativity that, again, like when you're gigging every weekend, you don't really have time to do that. They've got full-time jobs. They've got families. So it's all doing covers every weekend. It's awesome. It's amazing. Right. But then now we're finally, doing the original thing. And also but until recently, like I didn't feel comfortable writing, and I didn't enjoy it. I would like force myself to do it.
You said that before about the comfort, like you didn't feel comfortable playing the guitar. What do you mean?
I just was like, it's not time yet. I don't want to force anything, Like
it wasn't like an insecurity thing. It was just didn't feel right.
It just didn't. I really go off of like feelings. And so I just would pick up the guitar and be like, okay, I got to write a song. And then I just get frustrated and just like criticize myself over doing something that, not a lot of people even can do at all.
Right.
So, but now I love it. I don't know really what changed, to be honest with you.
Was it like a writer's block almost, or just
probably?
Okay.
Probably. It was, the first full song that I've ever written, and I'm going to play it for you.
Okay.
It was sparked by something pretty traumatic. It was our really good friend Rhonda passed away tragically. She's in the music scene. I'm sure you've seen and heard. Yeah. So that song was born from that experience because it was just shocking. It like sent shockwaves through like the community. And I just kind of wrote it from the perspective of her fiance, Mike, and like how that would feel to just suddenly lose someone that was like your whole world. So going back to what we talked about, I guess it took something like really crazy and triggering and big to like sit down and write a song. But again, that song wrote itself, truly. Like I sing it and I feel like, oh my gosh, who wrote that song? I was like in another state of mind.
So it is sometimes, because you said sometimes you kind of want to write it from like the scar, like you're thinking back, but that one was one where you wrote it like in the moment.
Like in the moment. It was totally in the moment. But also I was writing it from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
I had dropped into maybe what it would feel like if I was him. But I didn't lose my fiance. Like I didn't lose someone that close. I loved Rhonda and we were good friends, but like I didn't lose someone that was my whole world. So it was quote unquote easier to write it because it wasn't my pain that I was carrying.
Yeah. Well, some of it, losing your friend. But you were trying to see it from the perspective of the fiance.
Exactly. And I think that actually made it easier because it's like removed. It's like writing a story in third person kind of thing. Even though you're singing it you're still writing it from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah. So now are you guys going to produce this record yourself, or because I know a lot of bands are doing that, kind of putting out their own music without the record labels? They can do that. And then that way you have creative control.
Yeah.
Right?
We haven't gotten to that point yet and made those decisions yet. So that'll be down the road. I'm open to really anything. And I just want really good people on my team. So
you guys are just doing like demos right now?
Yeah.
That's what
Okay. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then what is the goal besides performing with Stevie Nicks? Do you have any other goal with the live shows? Like, is there a set number of shows you're trying to do, or is there certain venues or tours or festivals you want to get on?
Oh gosh.
You've already done Circus Mexicus, so you cross that off the list.
I know. It's so funny. I don't have like specific goals because I keep playing gigs and shows that I didn't even think were possible. Like, so quickly. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't even know what's the next best thing. I'm not even going to pretend to be naive, or I'm not even going to be naive enough to think that I know what the next best thing is.
So do you get offered the shows, or does the manager here reach out to the places, or how does that work?
In the beginning, it was like we just went to every bar we could and talked to people, but that really got us nowhere, truly.
Oh, really?
We would get business cards and send emails and then send a follow-up email and then send another follow-up email. But something broke loose, and eventually now it's just all of them reaching out to us, which is great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, because probably once you were at Circus Mexicus, you performed with Roger Clyne, you've opened, you've done a show with the Black Moods and all these, you got street cred, right?
Street cred, that's what it is. But it's a community. Everybody knows everybody. So if you can vouch for them, Like, I know a couple of shows, you know, they've talked to the Black Moods about it. Like, oh, should Natalie and the Sweet Talkers do it? And they're like, hell yeah, they should. So it's kind of that community. And what's great is we all are really supportive of each other. No,
that's super cool. Yeah. And I'm learning more about it. And I like learning and finding out these new bands. And I feel like every day I find out about a new one. I'm like, wait, there's another, I've never heard of this band. That'll look and they'll have all these followers and they played all these shows. And I'm like, because there really is a lot of venues here that we're nowhere near as big as like Nashville. Have you been there?
I haven't. That's okay. There we go. That's a goal.
Yeah,
that's a goal. Yeah. I want to go to Nashville for sure.
I'm sure Eddie can hook you up with a show or venue or something. Because
hey Eddie,
that is a great. So you go there and it's like these 4-story bars, and every level is a different band. So there's like 4 bands in one bar.
That's the dream.
It's amazing. And then even just like we went to the airport, there was like 4 bands on the way just to get our luggage.
That's
and stuff.
what I hear is like it's constant music. Yeah, which is That's awesome.
It's all live music. Yeah. I don't think I saw one DJ. And even like, we went to I feel like we went to every bar, but I didn't see any DJs. I don't know if
that's better that way. Not to diss DJs, but live music. I love a good live band. I love live
music too. Yeah. That's the problem here is like, there is a lot of live music, but it's so spread out. Like that's the other thing is I'll find out about live music, like bands, but also find out about places that play live music that I had no idea existed. They'll be like, oh yeah, they do live music at this bar over here. I was like, they do? I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
So I
think it's growing like exponentially.
Yes, that's what I've noticed too. Yeah. Cause like even Boondocks, like that used to be what was it before? It was Spanish Fly. It was like a pool bar, and then they closed it down. And
and they've got live music like I think almost every night.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Lots of places like Rock Bar has music every night. Yeah. Old Town Tavern has music every night. Yes. And that's the best thing. Rusty Spur every night. Yeah. Oh yeah, a good nightcap at Rusty Spur is always a great idea.
If you can get in, that place is so small.
I know, gosh, it's so small.
Cool. Well, so are you ready to play some live songs?
I would love to.
Okay, we'll take a little bit of a pause here and then we'll get set up. Okay, so I want you to try to teach me some kind of stage move. Okay. Like you had a couple. At least teach me one.
It really is flattering that you think I have moves.
Better than me.
I think they're more calculated actually than I'm letting on. It's kind of like when I need to do something. So like, let's say, all right, you got to get loose. Okay. All right. So just move your head back and forth. All right. Get in the zone. You're Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks. You are her. Okay. There you go. Yep. Okay. So it's kind of like, I need to take a deep breath. So I'm going to do this away from the microphone and not have to sing. So you just your hair. There you go. Okay. Yep. Okay. And it's like, I need to take a drink. So I'm going to like dance over here and grab my drink. It's very more calculated. And then it's a lot of this, like you're just
you were doing this kind of thing, like
when you're feeling it, you're feeling it, and then it's a lot of this.
That's what it was.
Is that the one?
And you had like the draped kind of sleeves, so it made it even better.
That's true. You got to have the bell sleeves for this.
The bell sleeves is that what it's called? Okay.
It's a lot of like drawing it out like this.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of this. You're right. It's kind of an interpretive dance. I didn't even think about it.
You got some moves. That's what I'm saying.
Well, now you're subbing next time. So. There you go.
We'll just have to do like a Milli Vanilli thing because I can't sing.
You're going to need a kimono, though, for sure. Like you have to have a kimono to basically do these moves.
Okay, let's hear you do some real songs now.
All right. Okay. Yes. So this one is the one I was just talking about. It's called Less Alive. It's about love and loss, and it's dedicated to our dear friend Rhonda, who we love and miss so much.
Okay.
It's been a while since I left home. How many days it's been, I just don't know. I could get used to sirens and lights, but I sure wish you were here tonight. Sweet rain, come down. Maybe it's all in my mind.
Wow. I'm not fucking with you when I say this right now. I swear to God, I got chills when you put just knowing like the story and stuff, and then just it was like you could tell the emotion was definitely there. Like that was amazing.
Thank you.
I can't believe you're in my kitchen right now. I'm gonna tell this. It's like same with Eddie Eberle. I'm gonna tell the story. You guys were in my kitchen. This is like amazing.
Thank you.
Wow, that was
I appreciate it.
I was a fan before, but like now I'm like even more. Like that was amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm excited to work on it. And I think everybody can relate to it. The story is really powerful and incredible. And then I've had people, come up to me. My mom is like, that reminds me of my brother. She lost her brother when she was my age. And she's like, that's my brother, So people everybody's lost somebody. So that's my goal with that song is like, you're not alone. Everybody's lost somebody. This is real and this is life. And it's important to sing about it. Right.
No, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I just realized my mic wasn't on because I turned it down, so that's fine. I can pipe in my stupid thoughts. But no, do you want to do another one then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll do another one. So this is kind of a 180 from that one. Okay. So let's see here. This one's called Seasons, and it's just about the crazy up and downs of relationships that everybody understands, and here we go. I'm sorry, I'm so ornery. At least I give a damn. When we're fighting and we're hurting, there's no room for anyone to win. Go to bed angry. At least that's what the experts say. Well, my darling, we could try it. We never get any sleep anyway. Don't get too close. Don't be exposed. Feel my heart beat like a bass drum. See the pain I try to run away from. So run away now. 'Cause seasons change, we have to save ourselves somehow. Oh, somehow. I remember when we were strangers, and your smile was Novocaine. Yes, I fell hard. You called me sweetheart. Baby, we were both to blame. Don't get too close. Don't be exposed. Feel my heart beating like a bass drum. See the pain I try to run away from. So run away now. 'Cause seasons change, we have to save ourselves somehow. Oh, somehow. Don't get too close. Don't get too close. Don't be exposed. Feel my heart beat like a bass drum. See the pain I can't get away from. Oh. So run away now. The seasons change, we have to save ourselves somehow. Oh, somehow. I have to save myself somehow. Oh, somehow. I have to save myself right now. I have to save myself.
Wow. Another amazing, like, how do you do that? I mean, I guess it's just like asking Michelangelo, like, how do you paint? Like, because how do you sing with that range? Like, I mean, and you didn't miss a note. It's amazing.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I have taken vocal lessons. That's helped a lot. It's a lot of just trying to control your breath and know where to breathe, and also write songs in your range. I'm not trying to write songs that I can't sing, you know?
Yeah.
And I love it, obviously. So.
Are you, is this like, this is like, oh, it's another day at the office here. Like,
It's amazing every time.
wow. Yeah, that was, because I feel like you didn't showcase this as much at Boondocks. Like, I feel like, or maybe it's just because we were in the back a little, but like, this is way more powerful being right up front. Like, in your range, you're really just putting your heart into it. Like, you're just like, what? You know, like, everything's out there, and it was like perfect.
Thank you. Well, these are really new songs, and at Boondocks was the first time I've ever played them live. So
Right.
I think I was really nervous and didn't get as into it. Every time I play them, I'm more comfortable. But also, you know, having a full band, you got to be in sync the whole time. And so when it's just me and my guitar, I know that I don't have like the exact beat every time, but I'm not too worried about it because I don't need to worry about the rest of them. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to mess them up. Maybe that's it, but definitely different vibes. Like how I love sometimes just hearing some of my favorite bands acoustic. It's a whole different thing.
No, yeah, that's what it's all stripped down.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not hiding behind, you know, like backing vocals, or, I mean, it's just you and the guitar, and it's like, and you nailed it. Like, that's
Thank
really
you.
impressive. So,
Thank
wow.
you.
I'm excited for those to come out. Like I said, for the world to hear, and I'll post this on my YouTube channel if that's okay.
Of course,
okay,
please
cool.
do.
Yeah. I'll try to get more music and more stuff on my YouTube channel. I've got Eddie and like a few people, but cool. Well, let's see. I always like to end with a charity. Did you have one in mind that you said two, I think, right? And you're like,
We as a band have always we love doing anything that relates to charity. I think the one that's really dear to my heart right now is, and it's not even really a charity, it's the American Heart Association, because my dad had a heart attack last year. And that that flipped everybody's world upside down. He's totally okay. But the care that he's gotten from them, and just the care from Abruzzo Heart Hospital, they're always taking donations. So that's like the biggest thing to me right now.
Okay.
I just did a charity Orange Theory thing for American Heart Association.
Oh, that's awesome.
So.
Isn't there one of the biggest charity events in Phoenix is the Heart Ball? Is that what it's called, right?
I'm just now like understanding this cause because it never really hit home, you know, which it sucks that you have to wait till it hits home to care about it. But, so any, involvement in that, I'm in.
Okay. Well, very cool. So I'll post that link on the notes. And you've already done some amazing stuff performing with Roger Clyne and all this, but I mean, this band is relatively new, 2018. So I'm excited to see where the future takes you. Like,
I'm excited too.
It's like you said, like people need to know about the Phoenix scene, because you and Eddie, the Black Mood. I mean, we got a lot of talent here.
You really do.
It's really amazing.
It's awesome. I'm just happy to be here. I really am. And everybody supports each other. It's not a competition thing, because everybody's really different. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like we're all trying to do the same thing.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of variety.
We need more females. So any girls out there that are wanting to get into the music scene, please
There's
join
a couple
me.
that I've followed on Instagram. One actually I've been trying to get to do my podcast. But yeah, so there are definitely some talent. But yeah, we could always use more.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it's growing. There's getting more and more venues are doing live music. So very cool. Well, I'm look forward to the future. And thanks so much for doing my podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Okay, me too. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this really was one of the most fun episodes I've done in a while. It's always great when you have a musician perform, especially in my own little condo. And this is why I do these podcasts, because I'm a fan. I love media, I love comedy, I love acting, I love sports, and I especially love music. So it's a real treat to have Natalie in my home and having her perform for us live. And again, she's such a nice person. I wish nothing but good things for her, and I think a lot of good things are going to be coming her way. So make sure you follow her on Instagram and Facebook. She has a solo account, which is just at Natalie Merrill Music, and her band account, which is Natalie and the Sweet Talkers. And I'll post both of these in the notes section. So if you just scroll down, you should be able to find it. You can follow me on social media too, if you like these interviews and finding out about amazing artists like Natalie. And if you enjoyed the episode, I'd love to hear your thoughts, either from a review or you can share it and tag me. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have an amazing day.